Welcome. I'm Harmony Slater, your host of the Finding Harmony podcast. Over the past 20 years, I've taught thousands of yoga teachers and students to explore the intersection between ancient wisdom and modern everyday life, using mind-body practices to heal, awaken, and manifest their dreams from the inside out. This podcast is a sanctuary for those feeling overwhelmed by life's challenges. Are you ready to jump in and discover how these challenges aren't actually in the way, but are the way to finding harmony? Let's invite the magic back in. Hi, welcome to the Finding Harmony podcast. I'm your host, Harmony, and I'm so happy you're here today because we are venturing into the fascinating realm of light language with Debra Clark, who's the founder of Mystic Heart Space. Now, many of you might not know this, but if you have had any spinal energetic sessions with me, either online or in person, or have been in my online groups receiving healing sessions using sound and vibration and energy, then you might have heard that some channeling happening, some light language. I have been channeling light language. And when I started channeling light language, I had to start looking into where this light language was coming from and what was this light language that had been activated in me. And so I started listening and learning from different sources, and Debra really stood out. She is a certified master light language healer who has really dedicated her last few years, the last, portion of her life, a decade or so, to helping others unlock their innate psychic abilities and connect with these higher dimensions of consciousness. She started off as a medium, someone who could read energy, who could channel beings. And so she had this gift of being able to tap into these other dimensions and these other realms. And she started to channel these spirit guides and angels and interdimensional beings that were coming through in a vibration, in a sound vibration that she discovered was light language. And so today we're going to be exploring this mysterious phenomenon. I don't know if it's that mysterious. When you hear it, when you feel it, it feels like something very ancient, very old, very recognizable, and very much from the heart. And I love that her space online is called the Mystic Heart Space because it does feel like light language is a form of heart language, of sacred communication that's transcending our ordinary speech. It's like it bypasses that executive functioning mind and opens up into the feeling mind, into the feeling centers of understanding. But we will discover how this ancient modality can help to catalyze healing or activate dormant spiritual gifts, and how it can facilitate our collective evolution into higher states of consciousness. So, whether you're a seasoned spiritual practitioner who's loves getting into all of this juicy, interesting, multiple dimensional conversations, looking at things from 3D, 4D, 5D, or if you're just new and you're thinking, I'm just wondering what this is all about, and you're coming with a sense of openness and just curiosity, then I think you'll walk away feeling like you've been illuminated with new pathways of understanding what is light language, and maybe even curious to experiment or try channeling some light language on your own. So yeah, let us know. Let us know if you feel like you're curious and you want to know more. We would love to, just hear what your experience is with it. So let's jump into this conversation. I can't wait to get started. Hi, welcome to the Finding Harmony podcast. I'm so happy you're here to meet my guest today, Debra. How are you? This is Debra Clark from Mystic Heart Space.
Hi. Well, I'm feel very grateful to be here today, to spread some knowledge on light language. So I'm open to any questions you have for me.
Beautiful. I'm really, really excited. So when I was reading your bio, I mean, we've met before. This is not the first time we're meeting.
Right.
Just to clear the air, sometimes we have people that we're meeting for the first time, but we've actually done a session together, and I've been learning some light language from your course and your activations.
Oh, the attunements. Yeah, the attunements.
Yes. But you're a psychic medium, Lemurian earth seed, and collective energy star seed, and a certified master in light language healer, and activator, and channeler.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So, I mean, I specialize in activating soul language and giving people an understanding about light language in general. But I really started off with channeling first. So mediumship is really what I wanted to step into because I always thought it was fascinating. But then I realized I was an energy reader. And that's what, I came here to do. And then it started elevating into light language.
Okay, so I have so many questions to ask you. But probably first, people are wondering, what is light language?
Light language is a universal communication of consciousness, and it is connected to all that is in existence. So everyone has that ability to connect in with the consciousness. It's within ourselves, within the soul's expression. And so meditation will help you connect in with it. Watching people speak light language will help you to kind of activate that within yourself. But basically, anything that has light or anything that is energy is connected to the consciousness. The plants, the animals, the trees, the planets, the cosmos, anything. Anything that has energy. And we can channel those things. So it is a form of channel.
Yeah, it's like a channeling
communication.
Of vibration in a way, right?
Yeah, it can be tones, frequencies of energy to help to open, clear the chakras, heal. It's super powerful. But it's also a form of communication too, to other realms.
Yeah, amazing. Okay, so there's so much in your bio that we're going to unpack for just for people listening.
Okay.
Because, so often how I like to describe light language is that it's like the language of the heart. Would you say that that's...
language of love.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just that, love is consciousness. Yeah. And we have to understand that is our true vibration. Yeah. And, we have the ability to connect in with anything we love through that consciousness. My guides always refer it to the movie Star Wars, the Force. Yeah. The Force within you. Totally. That's what they talk about. It's that life force energy.
Yeah. Yeah. I love this. So, I mean, and for me, it's just become so clear that is the only reality.
Yeah.
But like we get all mixed up and confused with
because we
come
here to play. We come here to play and learn.
I love that. Yeah. Okay.
In the human aspect, which is fun too. It's fun to be human. It's fun to play the roles, and we're eternal. So we get bored.
Yeah. That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah. That's how I look at it anyway. Yeah. So I don't take this all so seriously. Yeah. I know that I'm eternal, and I know that I can communicate with whatever I would like to. Yeah. I connect it with different timelines too if I want. Everybody has the ability to do this.
Wow. I like this. This is amazing. So then also, like, what are the differences between, because like when I first started to learn about light language, it was transmitted to me in the form of singing.
Oh, very common. Very common.
But then also as I was researching it and looking into it, there's like drawing and kind of mudras with the hands, as well as the language and different sounds. Right. So can you talk a little bit about like what are all these different expressions?
Yeah. So the singing comes from the soul's memory. So it's called a soul song or soul songs, and they can come from memory, the soul's memory.
Yeah.
And identifying with other lifetimes. It could be here. Like for me, I'm Lemurian, and so I connect in with those songs all the time. The singing comes out of me all the time from memory. As you get activated, when your soul language starts to come through, you'll start singing from the memories. Okay.
Yeah.
And then there's coding in written form. A lot of artists, I find, they really encompass the codes or transmissions, whatever you want to call it, because it's all different. It depends on what the person's channeling. It is a form of channel, though.
Right.
It is a form of channel. Yeah, it's memories, it's coding coming through consciousness. And so if you look at people that paint, the artists, sometimes you'll see coding in the actual paintings.
It's so
Yeah, it's
interesting. Coaching client that I was working with just yesterday, she was painting the energy or the colors of that she was seeing of different chakras. It was part of this
Beautiful.
weekend that she was kind of a part of, and the one sort of leader of the retreat came, and she wasn't there, and he just was staring at her painting. And then he said to the woman who was painting beside her, but she wasn't there, she didn't hear it. This woman relayed the message after. He just stared at her painting for several minutes. And then he looked over and he said, "Isn't it so nice when you have psychics who attend your class?" And then he just walked away.
Right.
And she was really confused, though, in the sense that she was like, "I'm not really psychic. Like, I don't feel like I'm seeing these things. I'm just testing and being creative."
She is. It's an ability. Yeah. She just, when you think of psychic, it has a weird label, psychic, right?
Yeah.
It's just consciousness.
Yeah.
This is the ability to see things in different ways. Everybody's different and unique in their way of receiving the information, right?
Yeah.
Through consciousness. Like for me, I'm very, very I'm a feeler. I feel it. I also hear. But it was subtle in the beginning. As I started becoming more of a channel, I hear a lot more than say the average person would hear. See what I'm saying? On a consciousness level.
Yeah.
But I think the more you work with your abilities, your psychic clairs, the more it enhances.
Yeah, and so I was kind of explaining that, like, well, you are on some level seeing it, and even though it seems like it's just kind of creative energy flowing through you, or you're just testing or experimenting, there's something in you that's bringing that forth.
Right.
So
exactly.
do you think there's something like that we're kind of maybe taught or trained to not listen or not see, or
we're trained to not believe in these things for a reason, because it's really our true identity. We just connecting with consciousness. Now, from my understanding, to bring up Lemuria again, because my guides talk about how Lemuria was a divine feminine, more driven civilization, but we communicated with our grandmother, Mother Earth, nature. And we specialize in like plant-based medicines, crystals, and the reason why is because we were able to communicate with these densities. And so we understood with consciousness communication that certain plants help to heal certain areas, right, by communicating with them. Okay. And we are starting to bring more of that knowledge back. A lot of it is just intuition and consciousness. Some people just are really, really great at knowing these things, right? Well, it's because they have access to the consciousness, the Earth's intelligence, I should say. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think there's like something to this? Like you're saying, it's coming back. There's a lot of movement towards shamanism and plant medicine, and people are more becoming comfortable with this idea that they can hear or receive messages from the earth or from the plants or from, I don't know, other beings.
Yeah, well, that's because we are lifting in consciousness. That is why people are starting to see the illusion. Okay, the illusion is the mockery of it all, my guides are saying, right? We're starting to see things with truth. And that's because we are, as a collective, raising in vibration. Now, the star seeds, the light workers, I know you want to get into the differences between those two, but we're holding the vibration to help people heal. And some of us are strong transmuters, which means we take on a lot from other people that can't transmute for themselves. That is where your role comes in.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And we're helping. Yeah.
Channeling in a different kind of way.
Yeah, exactly. And frequency, toning with vocal is superpower. It's light language. It's a form of healing. Vibration is healing. Toning is healing. Frequency is healing.
Yeah, it's so interesting. I mean, you kind of showed up for me on my path at a time when that was becoming so strong in me, this connection to vibration and tone and energy and the healing power of vibration and tone. And even this idea that when we're out of tune with ourselves, we start to experience like even physical kind of symptoms,
for sure.
illnesses. And
that is, to me, the embodiment of illness is not transmuting. It's, we're in the hustle and bustle daily life. We're not taking time out to go ground, get in nature, relieve stressors, rebalance the energy. We're taught to go, 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 and not to rest. I mean, some people are functioning on 4 hours of sleep. Yeah. And that's how you get ill. You get sick from no self-care, right?
Yeah.
And so what I've learned in my journey is transmutation is viable. It's something I have to have. I have to do it daily. If I don't, I will get ill.
Yeah. When you talk about transmutation, what is your practice? Can you talk about what you do?
Really, everything is intention, right? And so I usually go into a meditation or I go outside for a walk.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I set the intention to transmute. Mine looks like breath work, a lot of it. It's right? Yeah. I'm releasing, blowing out. Sometimes it's coughing, depending on who I worked on that day. Yeah. Okay. A lot of times I take a lot of lower energy and then I transmute it. Every time I have a session, I immediately go outside to transmute every single time. I transmute before I go to sleep at night to make sure I didn't pick up on anything on social media. Right. See what I'm saying? Or a phone call or, Yeah. And so if we got in the habit of just setting those intentions and allowing the body to you're giving your body permission is what you're doing to release those things. Yeah. And it could be something you've been focusing on that's inhibiting, that's, constricting your communication or keeping you from feeling okay. All right. I mean, most of the time it's us picking up on negative energy or people's thoughts, their traumas, things like this, their stories. And then as a healer, we have that ability to transmute it into loving light. That's how I just kind of visualize it. I visualize myself putting all that negativity through a portal. Yeah. And then I shut the portal and then I envision it transmuting into light. And that helps me. Everybody has their own way of kind of visualizing how to do that. Some people use fire, the element of fire to kind of burn things off. But to be honest with you, I have dragon guides. Yeah. And they're the ones who taught me how to transmute by breath work.
Yeah. I think that really resonates with me, which also makes sense with the dragon energy and the also the fire element. When I work with people doing my spinal energetics, my healing sessions, so many of them, especially online, experience a lot of heat in their body.
Yes. That's the transmutation. Yeah. That's the burning away of the old. And so a lot of times after your sessions too, you'll feel like a perspiration feeling yourself, because that is a symbol or identifier to you that you are helping that person transmute. So you'll start to feel it leave their body. Yeah. And it's a beautiful modality. I encourage everybody, even if you're not a healer, do it for yourself.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So how would someone do that for themselves if they were like maybe new to this and they're like, okay, I want to try transmuting or shifting my energy, because that's kind of what we're talking about, right?
Just go outside, test it out, set an intention and connect with the earth, lean up against a tree And and just allow your soul to communicate with it, because to me your soul knows what to do. The brain, right? This thing
Yeah.
doesn't understand it. We have to teach this what consciousness is, right?
Yeah.
But I say get activated with soul language too. That will enhance your communication and better help you to be a transmuter of your own energy and to align your energy.
Yeah. 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 It's powerful.
It's so powerful. Yeah. And everybody has the ability. You don't have to be special or unique. Everybody has that ability.
Yeah. What do you think inhibits people from connecting to that ability?
It's the not knowing what it is. It's the scary part, the unknown. And there's kind of, people call it speaking in tongues, right? You've heard that expression.
Yeah, I've been to the Pentecostal churches too.
Right. And, it is similar. However, let me tell you, light language has nothing to do with religion. It's energy. That's what it is. It has nothing to do with any religious anything. And so I don't teach it that way, because that is not how I learned it. And I learned it from within. I learned it from understanding it in my own journey to enlightenment with light language. And so what I've learned, I communicate with people. And a lot of it is communication, because I'm a channeler. So a lot of these guides will channel through me, and I hear it through the consciousness of what they're saying.
Yeah, that's amazing. So let's talk a little bit about that. How do you, like what are the guides? What are these sort of energies or beings or things that you're channeling?
There's different beings on different dimensional realms or different densities. And they each bring something different. For instance, fairies, and yes, fairies are real. Okay, but they're on a different density of frequency. Some people see them, see what I'm saying? Because they connect in with that vibration. They live on the vibration of joy and happiness. And when they come through and I channel them, I get like real happy and, cheerful like a little kid, and I'm like, wow, can you imagine being on this density all the time, being joy and happy all the time? But that is their frequency. See what I'm saying? But it's really just communication to other realms of existence. And we have that ability. We're not the only realm. We're not the only density. And so I think closed-minded people are it's not that they want to be closed-minded. It's just that we're taught to be closed-minded about these things for a reason. Yeah. Because this is our true identity. We have the ability to connect with all that is in existence. Everything, anything that has energy, we have the ability. We are part of all that is, right? We're actually one, connected to source energy or God, whatever you want to call it, right? Yeah. God is energy. It's a consciousness. And that is where you start to communicate within that realm. You can hear everybody, anything you want to connect in with.
It's amazing.
I know. It's so exciting.
Yeah, it reminds me of C.S. Lewis has a book, and I forget what it's called, but it's actually about like other dimensions and planets, and it's, kind of a science fiction novel, but they call Earth the silent planet in it because we've lost our ability to communicate with the other dimensions.
It's true. But our goal is to join the society of the cosmic family. That's what the goal is, and that is what the ascension is, because we're no longer contracted now. Okay. So what I mean was there was a contract that inhibited us, but now the contract has closed because this is the learning library. It was dense as a dense society or world to help give us lessons so we can work through the darkness and understand it. Okay. But now we're the people that are wanting to join this beautiful ascension that we're on. We will be joining our cosmic family. Society. We're going to be communicating with other worldly beings, but it's the people that are in alignment with that. Not everybody's going to join that, right? Some people want to learn lessons, so they're going to still stay in a different timeline or different world of density. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally. Especially, I think, when you think of it like vibration and frequency, it's helpful because it kind of takes out the judgment in a way. Right. It's sort of just like if you're vibrating at a certain level, you can't help but start to connect with things also that are vibrating at that level.
They're going to be vibrating with love, with that frequency of love. And that is why we have to stop fearing things and start loving things and being open to understanding rather than judge it. And so, like, for me, I guess you could call me a rebel. I just always kind of rolled that way. I feel like I want to experience something for myself to learn if it's dark or if it's, of loving. And I've dealt with different energies of experience. And what I've learned is darkness teaches you. It teaches you how to claim your sovereignty, teaches you to decide to love yourself. And, that's all it is. It's just a teacher.
Yeah. Powerful one.
Powerful. And we all don't realize we're in it. Like almost every single person has experienced darkness.
Yeah. And I think the beautiful thing with the darkness too is that if you just go in and be with it, it like opens up into the light too, right? It just softens and opens up and it's not actually as scary as we're making it out to be in our minds.
Right. Well, that's taught. That's the touch. Because if you weren't taught darkness, you would not believe it. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's true. It's true. You need the darkness in order to see the light and vice versa too, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Well, it is, polarity. It's, and this is where the light workers come in. Light workers come in to hold the frequency and a balance here.
Okay, so let's talk about what is a light worker.
Light worker.
How would you define a light worker?
To me, a light worker is someone who has had lots of experience, but actually is here to hold that loving energy. And so those people will stick out in crowds. The people that are, wow, that person over there, she's always like donating her time. And when you talk to her, she's so positive and she's so loving and caring, right? Or he, okay? Yeah. Those are light workers. They're holding the frequency of love. Okay.
Yeah, beautiful.
And some of them, my guides were saying, will transition into being their starseed roles as well as it becomes leveled up in the density, right? When it's depending on what their contract is on a soul mission. Yeah, their soul mission contracts. Everybody's different. Like for me, mine is to activate the masters to help them remember who they are. I am a starseed, but I'm human. So it's like, I don't want to take the human aspect out of me because I'm still human. I'm having a human experience. It's just that my soul has had lots of experience in other realms, other dimensional planes. My guides call me multi-dimensional being, where I've had lots of, and a lot of us have, but a lot of us have forgotten that part of ourselves. Right. But you don't have a choice. When it's in your contract, you start to awaken to it. Okay. And when I started awakening, I was like, what is happening to me? I started meditating on my own out of nowhere. I'd never been taught it. I got off social media for about 3 months because I was tired of my life. You know how you get fed up. You're like, enough of this cycle, this pattern. It was the same pattern repeating itself.
Yeah.
And then started self-meditating. I saw myself astral back to my body, and I could not believe it. I floated to the top of the ceiling in my house and came into my room and boom, landed into my, and I went, oh my gosh, I just saw my soul come back to my body. It was crazy.
Wow.
It was super weird. Yeah. And then I realized there's more to us.
Yeah.
And, I really my guides just put things into my awareness, the synchronicities that show up into your awareness.
Yeah.
Those are real. Number sequences, people, videos, light language came into my awareness, and I didn't know that it would be in my future. It just showed up. I cried.
Yeah.
The first time I heard it, I cried.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really powerful. It goes deep. It touches like definitely deep inside your energy body, I think. Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Your soul recognizes it.
Yeah.
And that's why people have different experiences. The people that get angry, it's because it's helping them see their shadows. Okay. And they're programmed with certain religious programming. And so they immediately go to fear because that's what they're taught.
Yeah.
Instead of being open to understanding it.
Yeah. I love my teacher mentor who in spinal energetics, she always says she doesn't believe in good energy and bad energy. Energy is just energy. It's either dense and stuck or it's moving different. And flowing. Yeah.
And it also teaches different things on different densities. It's teaching something different. Just like our chakras, if you're familiar with the chakras, they each perform something different, a different tone, a frequency to clear those chakras. You know, and so a lot of times, like for instance, when I'm channeling light language, it'll go deeper when I have to reach the deeper the lower chakras, and then it starts to elevate to the higher frequencies when I'm activating and channeling the higher codes that come through. So there's transmissions and then there's activations, and they're two totally different things. A transmission is more the message. It's slowing down to hear the message from spirit, and then there's the activation, which is coding, frequency, toning, which is what you do a lot with spinal energetics. The toning, frequency, and coding.
And the toning is like more the healing, or like the moving of the energy.
It's the moving of the energy, but also programming, meaning, okay, energy has coding. Some people see sacred geometry,
actually,
right? Yeah, exactly. And some people see it like as sacred geometry coming in. I personally feel it. Like for me, when I feel the codes coming in, it's like when you look up at the sun and it's bright and you squint. That is my symbol and my identifier, and I know I have to kind of grab the codes and put them in the places to help with that person. So a lot of it comes from the codes are for the manifestation of what you're creating. Okay, so if you're setting intentions, I want to clear this whatever I'm suffering from, and that's my intention is for, Harmony to do this for me, then you're going to facilitate exactly what it is their intent is. Intent is everything with light language.
Yeah. I feel like intention, I started reading again Wayne Dyer's book, The Power of Intention, because I was, it just like kind of came into my awareness again. I was like, I think I read this a long time ago, but it showed up again. And I feel like it's very, it's so profound, because in a way that is the energy. Intention is the energy that's holding everything together. And if you can tap into that, it shifts
because
like
we're
you don't
creators.
It's crazy, the shifts.
This is about creation. This is the civilization of creation. And that's why they say we have the ability to create whatever we want. So make it better.
Make it good.
Make it more viable. They're saying make it better. And it really is a choice. And I think that I've noticed just dealing with a lot of people that aren't awakened, right? Family members, things like this, they focus on a lot of negativity. I'm sick. My head hurts. I got this. And they say it daily, right? Well, that manifests because they're focusing on that. The energy will gravitate to whatever it is you're focusing on. The universe will say, she wants to experience pain in her lower back today. So let's give her that, right?
Yeah.
Because your words, your thoughts are magnifiers. And that is what creates the coding and experience. And so if you want to get activated, say with soul language, what happens is I'm just the conduit for the coding and the manifestation coding to activate that memory within you, to bring that forth for you, and to put it into your energy.
It's so powerful.
I love it.
I
don't know what I'd do without it
too. And I think that's such a when we think of infinity, I mean, we can't really think of infinity because our brains are limited. But when we try and imagine infinity, the concept of infinity is exactly like you're saying, like nothing can inhibit infinity. So if you're thinking about limitation or you're thinking about the problem, infinity is going to give you the limitation or the problem.
Exactly.
That's also a part of the infinite.
If you think you can't do it, you won't be able to do it. Stop thinking that way. Think better. And you know what I did? I had to really focus, like the beginning phases of awakening, and I know this was part of your questions too, is you really have to really, really be self-reflective. the things you're doing, saying, your mindset, where is it going, and be the observer of your thoughts. When you're the observer of your thoughts, you're going to realize what a program you have, because the same things will come up again, and it's your job to reset and reprogram the mindset with positive affirmations. I will wake up and say, I'm a positive light language activator, channeler, healer, medium, energy worker, and I just go down the list of everything I want to be and that I am, and it will manifest.
Yeah. That's really fascinating, like this idea of being stuck in the program, or like that broken record of our negative thoughts or our limiting beliefs. And how do you think like light language works to kind of disrupt that? Because, you know, in Sanskrit or in Indian philosophy, we use mantra as which is, you know, Sanskrit rhythm of vibration, of sounds, of syllables to protect the mind or to create a shift in energy so that you like connect back into your source. I mean, to me, it's almost a type of light language.
Yeah, it is. And like for me, I do, if I notice that I'm focusing too much on negativity or I'm saying something, I'll catch myself and I'll fix it.
Yeah.
And I'll change it to something positive. Oh, no. I don't want that going out there to the universe.
Yeah.
I have to word that better. And so then I change it. But a lot of times I use light language to communicate what it is that I want to facilitate. And that is when I go into meditation and I just allow my soul to do the manifestation. So my soul knows exactly what I need.
Yeah.
Right? In this moment. And everything is happening now. Remember that. And our guides want us to focus now. They don't want us to worry about the future or think about the past. We need to heal the past wounds and don't worry about the future, because everything is designed according to blueprints, like what we decided before incarnating, but also what it is that we're creating with our mindset. So make it positive, be positive. I know that when you say you need to be positive, it's kind of like rude to say that to people, but it really does work. It really does.
Would you channel some light language just so we can kind of hear the sounds and feel? Yeah, I mean anything that you want to tap into, because
some of the words that
shift your energy, right? Like it really does shift the energy, I feel.
So like for me, I can give you some words right now. I'll get into like some of the other things, but like masalalo, I say this a lot. That means much love to you. See, in Lemurian. Okay, malalo means I love you. I say these words all the time in conversations, and you don't think to say I love you all the time to your friends and family members, right? But it just comes out when I speak my light language, because that's really, truly, I do. I love them, right? But asotusia tia sokarayo, and I'm saying, but we can be conflicted by the chaos or confused energy. So karayo means silliness, chaotic, craziness of the world, of the illusion. Yeah. So I tend to talk about how we can get distracted by the illusion. Yasonore marayo satia shako. Yasonara marahara. Hara means love, consciousness, all that is. And being able to reconnect with that. And now we're restoring this. See, we're restoring what is rightfully ours. If you're in alignment, if you're not ready to do deep shadow work and heal the traumas, then you're not ready. And that's okay. It's, it really is a choice.
Yeah.
It's a choice.
It is. Yeah. And it is, I mean, you do have to do some deep shadow work. You really have to be okay with feeling the darkness.
It's an understatement. Okay. If you're not ready to dive deep and feel the pain and work through that, then don't get activated. I'm going to tell you that right now. Okay.
Yeah. Like you really have to be honest with like those I'm going to say childhood wounds, but I think they're just like the things that we've brought into this life with us, these deep woundings of,
And what I've experienced is sometimes it's another timeline that you have to heal, that you were here in a different timeline that you didn't get to heal. And so those stories will rise as you begin your healing journey.
Yeah, it's really fascinating. I also did some work around ancestral trauma and the trauma statements or phrases that we have, that we hold in our conscious mind, but that aren't ours, that come from like our grandparents, and looking at like what is the trauma statement, you know, that you tell yourself when you're experiencing, you know, like I don't deserve to exist, or something like this, right? Like, and then looking at what's the origin of that. Like, is it even yours, or does it belong to, you know, your grandmother or someone else, you know, that you're connected to, either consciously or genetically, or
since you're bringing this up, a lot of us starseeds or light workers are coming in to heal the ancestral patterns of behavior. Meaning, if there's a lot of addiction, say, in a family, somebody might come in to experience the addiction, but actually heal and mend from the addiction so that they don't transfer that to the next generation.
Yeah.
And I activated someone yesterday, and she was a former addict. And her guides came in telling me she needed to heal. She had to experience it, get into the darkness to understand it, so that she could better help others with the same story. Okay? Because there's a lot of addiction, unfortunately, here on the planet. And so we need to learn how to heal those things and those patterns of behavior so that we don't do it again.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are fixing those things, you know, in the family wounds, ancestral patterns and karma.
I feel that so strongly right now, when I even think back to, you know, not even 100 years ago, like 50 years ago. You know, I really don't think people were having these conversations.
No. Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh, it was... You know what? There was beauty in that, though, too, if you think about it. Like, I do miss being more human sometimes. Like, those stories when I was a kid, I'm like, God, the illusion was fun, though. It was, you know, but now that I'm awakened, I see the manipulation, right? I see the darkness, but I remember thinking, God, but when I was in the illusion, I was having some fun, too, you know? You know, not all of it. Not all, like the broken heart when you first get your heart broken. That was not fun. You know, but I mean, there's beauty in the illusion too.
Yeah,
you
of
know,
course.
Playing the roles. It can be fun.
Yeah. So tell us a bit about starseeds. These are the
starseeds
curiosities.
Starseeds are like are people that are their contracts are to be more visible. So they'll be like on social media platforms, teaching about consciousness, elevating the frequency of humanity, bringing forth the knowledge, the wisdom. Okay. And it elevates as they elevate here. It'll continue to elevate as they start to remember. So language is accessing that understanding with your own starseed origins, like for instance you are as well, bringing back that understanding. But I noticed that a lot of starseeds have to play the role of visibility. They have to put themselves out there, speak. Like for me, I have to go out, speak the light language, and give people an understanding about it, because I have to teach what it really is, not what they're programmed to believe it is. And help them give an understanding that this is the way out. The way out is in.
Yeah, totally.
Right?
100% with you.
It's inward. And we're not, if we just learned this as children, how to connect with consciousness, inward communication, it would be a totally different society.
Yeah, it's profound. It's really, it's beautiful to think about. And I think in many ways, the children that are coming to Earth now are they're brilliant. They're pretty amazing.
Yeah. They hold a higher frequency. They really do. And some of us, you know, they call us ground crew. This is what my guides call us, ground crew, because we're in it. We're in it, but we're there. And I've also been told that we're the reality show. that all the cosmic family wants to watch because they cannot believe how we can really raise our vibration in such a strong density. Third density is hard. It's hard to maneuver. It feels like mud, walking through mud, right? And to be able to awaken in such a density is just, they're just in awe over us.
That's so beautiful.
They also say that we're graduates. Like we're like the college degree coming in here. Like we come in here with all the experience.
Yeah.
We just come here with amnesia. We forget. But that's the beauty of the illusion, is forgetting that we're connected. But we always have access to the connection.
Yeah. I mean, that's the incredible thing that I think, I don't know, you just don't get it until you really get it. And then you're like, I actually don't have to really do anything. I just have to
be.
Yeah.
Be authentic.
Yeah.
That's what they say. Just be your authentic self and do what it is that gives you joy. And that is all you need to do here to perform what it is that you were assigned to do. Because whatever it is that is in alignment with your spiritual contract or blueprint, whatever you want to call it, gives you joy. This is what you want to do. So you might as well fulfill yourself with the things you want to do. I mean, my old job, my third dimensional job, was I was dealing with attorneys, and I just hated it. I hated it. There was a lot of customer service, and it's just
Yeah.
It's just dense.
I worked at a bank, I know.
Yeah, and not to say that all attorneys are dense. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that customer service in general and having to do things is like in that way and be on the phone with people. It's hard.
It is.
It's hard.
Yeah.
But I just started shifting and started doing things on the side that I wanted to learn. Like I started taking a channeling course. And then realized, that I was pretty good at it.
Yeah.
And then it gave me joy to do it. I loved doing it. And I did it for free for a whole year.
Amazing.
Yeah. It was a platform called Leadership of Light. And they're no longer in existence. I don't know. It got taken down. But I had left before it got taken down. But I started doing more stuff on my own business page on Facebook. And then, my light language started to formulate when I was doing a healing session for someone. And then, kind of similar to, and it started coming out in words, and I knew it was light language.
Yeah.
But I didn't know how I accessed it. Like, what is happening?
Yeah.
With me? And I reached out to a friend that I know spoke it, and we were in a course together.
Yeah.
And the first time she said, "This is coming out of me," and and I wanted to share it, I cried when she spoke it. So I really had a connection with it. I just didn't realize that it was my mission. Okay. And so we had like what we call swapsies of energy exchange, right? And so I did healing on her. She did, and she helped me go deeper with it and really cracked me open.
Yeah.
And then I could not stop it. It was just totally activated within me. Then I started noticing tones and different dialects coming in that I was channeling, and understood that I was actually channeling my guides. And I reached out to her again and go, "Can you channel more than one dialect?" And she said, "Yeah, if you're doing it, go for it."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Well, I didn't know you could. I thought you got one dialect and then that's it." I didn't know anything about it. I had to start remembering myself and trusting in. And so I started asking questions internally. I would go inward, ask myself questions, ask my guides questions. And then I started figuring things out on a consciousness. And when people say, "Hey, do you have any books on light language?" And I'm like, "Honey, the only way to understand light language is to get activated and to communicate with it yourself through consciousness. I mean, you can read about it, but it's not the same."
Yeah, no.
You won't fully, right? You don't fully understand it until you're actually using it and you're activated, and then you understand on a soul level.
Yeah, it's like reading about meditation. It's like
until
kind of
you
boring.
do it. Yeah, kind of do it. Yeah, exactly. And really, do they really understand it? They really don't understand it until you actually utilize the ability, and everybody has it.
Yeah. And it's such a somatic experience too, because it is dealing with those vibrations, and it is also like what you're saying, an opening of yourself to just expand and feel like what's coming through. I don't know. There's something very intuitively or clairvoyant kind of connection to,
and it will enhance your clairs. It will, if you're wanting to like open up more of your connection with your psychic clairs, it will do that. It will really expand them.
It's so powerful. Okay, so also people, when they first hear light language, I think they have like many different reactions. I remember when I first listened
like giggling or laughing at you.
When I first listened to you, I was like listening to this podcast. And I couldn't stop laughing. It was the most
Was fun. It the fairies? Was I channeling fae maybe?
It didn't matter what you channeled. It was like, I think that fairy energy around me just got activated. I was just like laughing nonstop. But it was like the kind of laughter of like a child, like when a child's just like so excited and in so much
joy. Yeah. Well, I also I just kind of surrendered to the channel, and does whatever wants to come through comes through. You'd be surprised at what helps me to activate people. They're all different that come through according to that person's vibration, what they carry, their experience. And so if I'm activating them, like for instance, if they have a lot of stories or lifetimes in Draco, then the dragons are going to come in. So I start channeling the dragons. And when I'm talking about Draco or dragons, I'm talking about not just dragons themselves, but dragon people. Okay. People that live, and they're indigenous people that live amongst the dragons in that world. Okay. And yes, they do exist. They've been around forever.
Yeah. It's so fascinating that so much of our maybe mythology or our stories or what like people connect to and what people see when they're in altered states of consciousness are very much, I feel like if we allow ourselves to just open up to the possibility, there's a through line, right?
Yeah. And a lot of the history is so ancient and so old, but there used to be dragons here. See what I'm saying? Yeah. And living in our oceans and waters. But, unfortunately they were killed, and long time ago, unfortunately. Because they basically ruled if you think about it, they were, of course they're going to take over. Yeah. Powerful. Okay. But when I think of dragons, I connect in with their vibration, and they're so heart-centered. And so, but there are different types of dragons. Okay. And I try and reassure people that when you set an intention to only channel those energies that have the best intentions for you and that are in alignment with love, then that's what you'll channel. But if you get into your head with fear, then you're going to channel those things that will make you fearful. So your intention is powerful.
Yeah. I always find the dragon energy or vibration or like language is so powerful for like clearing
transmutation.
Blocks or transmutation. Like I find it really helpful for like a lot of stuck energy.
And they can be very inspiring. They come in with inspired action. They help you push you on your path. They could be very assertive. And pushy, like they're the guy that's gonna push you. Okay. But they're very kind and loving. I've activated many starseeds that are dragons. My son is Tibetan dragon.
Oh, beautiful.
His dialect's kind of different, like Asian sounding. I don't know. It's really cool.
Oh, neat. And tell us, you said that you're Lemurian.
Right, that's my dialect.
Yeah, your dialect. And
my soul language.
Your soul language, yes.
Correct.
And then what other soul languages are there?
Oh my gosh. Infinite.
Infinite.
Yeah. I mean, I have personally, I have I think I have 26 different types of dialect attunements, just based on different star seeds that I've activated. Okay. However, you can connect in with anything you want and channel it when you match that vibration. It's a meeting of energy. It's a matching of vibration.
Yeah.
That is how I hear. You match the vibration, and I hear what's being communicated as I'm channeling.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of practice to start hearing what you're saying, because it's through the consciousness. Like in the beginning, you're not going to understand a word you're saying.
Yeah, I feel like that's a totally different gift, like the translation part of
it's just more practicing to hear what you're saying and really practicing with the channel. And like, again, I started with channeling first before I entered, before I started. So I started listening and hearing things. I would hear words, people would talk. And what was really interesting is that certain people I could hear more than others. Depending on if I had a lifetime, that same energy. I recognized the dialect and communication better. And so I can hear exactly what I had. One lady, I was activating her, and she starts laughing hysterically. And she goes, in light language, she says to me, I can't believe I forgot this. How ridiculous. But in light language, she says it, to me. And she was like a Pleiadian, which is still Lemurian. Lemurians are a lot of hold a lot of Pleiadian energy.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Beautiful.
Yeah.
So how do you think that this like light language and activating, people to tune into their own light language or their soul language, how is it helping to shift the frequency of vibration on the planet or heal past traumas, or how can it like really help us collectively to
Well,
evolve?
it's frequency and it's a healing modality in itself. And so it's going to reach, for instance, emotions that you can't reach with the limited language that we have. Meaning the English, you've ever heard the term, and I have no words, because there is no word to describe how you're feeling. Light language is a way of communicating exactly how you're feeling on a soul level. And so it reaches deep within to heal the trauma, the stories, the clearing. It's a healing modality. It clears unwanted energy, and connects you to and aligns you to the flow of the life force energy or consciousness, so that you can really feel your own identity.
Yeah.
And I mean, when you clear, and I'm in meditation and I start to clear, right? And I transmute and I clear and I cut cords to everybody I have connected in with. What happens is I feel myself in that energy, but also all that is. And my connection is oneness. It's that connection with everything. But then when you get into that sweet spot and you're in meditation and you just feel love, unconditional love, support, the worries drop, if that makes sense. The worries just drop away, and you start to see things in a higher perspective. And then you know what I mean? You're not in it anymore. It, you're observing it from above perspective.
Yeah. I mean, it makes complete sense to me because I can relate to this experience.
But like, again, I said, you have to be prepared to heal the trauma.
Yeah.
And be in a place of understanding that you got to forgive yourself. Forgiveness is huge. Forgive yourself for the mistakes you've made along the way. My God always says, you're going to F up. You're going to mess up along the way. And that is how you learn.
Yeah.
Okay, so forget about feeling guilty for the mistakes you made. Just be thankful that you're finally awakened to the mistake and that you learned from the lesson and healed it.
Yeah. I think self-forgiveness is probably one of the most powerful tools we have.
Yep. And forgiving others. When you can forgive somebody that's really done some wrong or harm to you, that's very powerful.
Yeah. Yeah, but I feel like self-forgiveness is sometimes harder than forgiving others, and also sometimes it's hard to truly forgive someone else until you've forgiven that part of yourself that
that played a role in it. That played the role in it. Well, I chose to be with this. Like for me, it was relationships I always struggled with, and I realized, well, you made the decision to be with this person. So forgive yourself first.
Yeah.
And then work through what was happening. I see now, when I was in it, I was always angry, right? With what was going on with myself. But now that I have healed that part and I see things from the higher perspective that I was just learning.
Yeah.
It was just this what I chose to learn and heal from.
Yeah, I've said this before, but the practice, there's a practice that comes from the University of Santa Monica and their transpersonal psychology program, and it's I forgive myself for judging myself, or I forgive myself for judging this person, because it's always the judgment that hurts.
Yeah, and
it's
it
always
is fear.
The judgment.
Judgment comes from a place of fear.
Yeah. Or I forgive myself for buying into the misunderstanding that
Right.
And then you always say the truth is, and then that like helps you connect back into what is the higher truth.
Yeah, I love that.
It's really beautiful.
I really love that.
Yeah.
And really being honest with yourself. That's why he says self-reflection is huge. If you can do some self-reflection, admit to the mistakes you've done or the roles you played, really does help.
Yeah.
It really does help you to elevate and to understand better who you are.
Yeah.
And we do also have shadow aspects of ourselves.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah. I mean, I have Ghetto Deb. I call her Ghetto Deb. My kids, she comes up when I'm defending my kids or, and she can be very mean and brutal with her words. And I've learned that not to control her, but to work with her and ease her storm. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Totally.
So when I'm the observer, this anger is surfacing. Okay. I'm getting emotional here. Yeah. This is anger surfacing. And when I see what's kind of manifesting, then I'm like, okay, I need to calm the storm. Take a walk, take a breather, shut my mouth, and just let's reset.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the biggest way. And then, because a lot of times your shadow thinks it's going to protect you.
Always.
Right.
Yeah.
And really it just messes everything up.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway, yeah.
True.
And working through shadows, like a lot of times in this line of work, I'm just saying my line of work, I see a lot of, perfection shadows. People portraying that everything is love and light, which is a bunch of horse shits, excuse my French. It really is not love and light. It's healing the traumas and working through and being honest with yourself. And so boundaries is powerful at healing, and you don't have to be open and loving to every person. Sometimes you have to set about assertive boundary with someone who's pulling on your energy. And it can be empowering to do that. Well, I remember my son telling me, "You've changed, Mom." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm finally setting boundaries now that I didn't set before." Right. And when you do that for yourself, you learn a lot about, it's empowering to be able to finally set that boundary. There's always that yes person, right? Because we're healers. We want to say yes to everyone. But it can be very unhealthy.
Yes. Yes. And I I'm like, oh, this is a message for me.
Oh, really?
No. But yeah, no, I definitely, the thing that I always think about is if you're not authentically saying yes because you want to, or you're feeling in alignment with it's actually not helpful for the person you want to help.
It could trigger things.
It's not helpful for you, and it's not helpful for them, and it's not honest, and it's not right. Like there's a whole bunch of stuff that gets really
and then
messy.
Secretly you're in the shower cussing them out, like, how dare them ask me to do this now, but
just say no.
I've learned that whatever I have to, because I do get pulled on a lot energetically. I get people, you're not available until right now, mid-December for sessions, and can you squeeze me in? And it is a trigger for me. Because I'm full for a reason. Like I've got sessions I have to do, right? But I also try and keep certain days open for those moments where I feel people really need me. But it really does hurt because I need self-care too.
Yeah, totally. I think this is the wound of the healer. Like the healer,
it really is.
Wants to bring it and be there for people and support and uplift consciousness and do all of this really beautiful light work in the world.
Yeah.
And sometimes we put ourselves last on the list, and we have to flip that around.
And then that's what really, then it triggers us. Then we have to release the trigger and then go through all that nonsense. But I've learned to be more assertive. I push the block button a lot.
Yeah,
this line of work.
You got to do it.
And I'm running a group, and I have my own, business page. Plus, I'm teaching courses. Then I have my TikTok. You're running all these different platforms. People can really pull on your energy, or, for instance, my light language group on Facebook. People try to self-promote themselves on a group that I have worked my butt off to create, and it's about learning. It's not about you promoting, it's about learning and sharing, not necessarily self-promotion. And so, but people think, oh, she's got 80,000 people in here, let me come into this and project that story, and that triggers my shadow. And then I get angry and I block.
Yeah.
And I'm like, sorry, boom. Or my guides will bring it into my awareness. This person's trying to poach,
Right. Yeah.
And I'm like, but they're great. They're great. It's nothing personal.
Yeah.
It's just you're not supposed to be there. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, and we have to learn how to do that. I think as spiritual entrepreneurs, as running a business that is also spiritually directed, we have to set loving boundaries also.
And ask for help. That's what they told me. I had to get another moderator, and oh my God, she's a godsend. Yeah. She's been helping to approve people, and I was like, I can't. I was waking up to 100 people to approve, sometimes 500 people to approve, and going through each person, reading the energy, because that's what we do. We read the energy. Are they a fit?
Yeah.
Are they in alignment with this? Are they scammers? So it really takes a lot that people don't understand behind the scenes of everything you're doing.
Totally. I know, it takes a lot. It takes a whole team, and like it really a lot does. Of like spiritual transmutation of transmutation of energy.
It really does. It really does. But yes, self-care is I think everybody should do it. It's something that everybody needs in order to help facilitate that transmutation. So a lot of people get sick and then they're forced to rest, right?
Yeah.
Because the body needs to go through a transmutation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's ridding, clearing.
Totally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the cycle. Like just stay healthy. Just like take care of yourself. Rest when you need to.
It really is self-care. It really, a lot of it is self-care. Nature too is key.
Nature. Yeah.
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 Connecting in with nature.
Yeah. Nature is like key for me too. Just like being with the earth energy. I think it's so
it really helps to balance out everything.
Yeah.
Your mood. There's something about it that's just, it's very calming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We're meant to connect with her. We're human. We're meant to connect with her.
Yeah.
I call her because when I channel her, it's a feminine energy that comes across to me.
Yeah. I think so too. I really felt that, like the connection to this earth and the earth energy, and also this rising energy of the goddess. Mm-hmm. It's like she's here. She's making herself known. I really feel it. It's pretty powerful.
I communicate with her often, and most of the time I just tell her how brave she is and how, to be, can you imagine just being a planet and then holding this density and understanding everything that's happening on the planet. I mean, it's a tough role.
Yeah.
Energetically. But an energy's got to play that role, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'll just tell her how grateful I am and how strong she is.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. Yeah, she supports all of us, right? I mean, giving and giving and giving and never taking. It's kind of a incredible life force.
She really is beautiful to channel. Just channeling her vibration. I don't know if you've connected in with her to actually channel her.
Oh, amazing.
It's one of the attunement. I think you might have the attunement if you got the attunement.
Yeah, I'll look for it.
You're going to love it.
Yeah.
You're going to love it.
Oh, I'm excited. Beautiful. Well, tell everyone if they want to receive activation through you or with you, how can they come find you?
They can go to mysticheartspace.com and select the soul language dialect activation session. Or if they want a reading first to see or get clarity, they can have a reading. I have other types of sessions too as well, but if they want to get activated, that would be the one.
Yeah. Beautiful.
It's about an hour. Takes about an hour to activate you, and just be in a quiet environment. Have water, tissue handy in case you get emotional.
Yeah.
Some people get very emotional during the session, so it just depends on the individual and how much healing they've done.
Yeah, it can be emotional for
But don't worry about having a clearing, because I clear you in the session. So there's no, like, do I have to have a clearing first? Or I get that a lot.
Right.
No, you don't. I clear you and align you in the session.
Yeah. Beautiful.
I know. It's so exciting. Exciting times right now.
It is exciting. And I think there's, this movement of Pluto into Aquarius and everything moving into the ether.
I know. I've seen different things about that we're not in Pluto, and then I've seen that we are in Pluto. I don't know what to believe anymore, but I'm going to tell you, I'm Aquarius, and I'm feeling a shift energetically with myself.
Yeah.
I'm stepping into a new role, a little bit magnified role right now, which is amazing. I'm in alignment with it, so it feels good.
Yeah. It's
powerful. But I think a lot of people are shifting.
I really feel
global awakening has happened.
Yeah. And of course, there's always like the polar opposite, which is trying to keep us stagnant. But
but it's up to us to see those illusions and don't believe those. Anything. This is what I say. And my guides have said, anything that is not in alignment with love is fear.
Yeah.
So if there's fear-based programming, if it makes you feel fearful, then it's not in alignment with love.
Yeah.
And so when people start advertising, oh, this is so scary, or that, I don't feed into that. I don't even want it into my awareness. I choose to see everything with love and healing, and that we are raising in consciousness. So I don't pay attention to all that nonsense.
Yeah. How can somebody, like, if they are feeling that fear or hearing a lot of the negative media or things, how
stop watching it?
Yeah. Okay.
Stop putting it. Well, it is something called a spiritual diet, right?
Yeah.
It's not just the foods you eat, it's what you entertain yourself with. It's just like if you're a horror, you like to watch horror films, then you're going to feel that. So it's just a choice. It really is a choice. And if you want to experience the darkness, go for it. You're going to be learning lessons along the way. Yeah. But it's a choice. It's just stop watching it. Yeah. If it makes you angry, there's a sign.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I don't watch it. Because it makes me so angry, because underneath I care so much.
Yeah, I know. The political stuff was really triggering me. Oh my gosh. I was just like, and I have my whole viewpoints because I read energy. So I read the energy of people all the time. Yeah. But I'm just like, can we just, can this be over with, please? So we can move on with our lives. Everything is happening for a reason, and that's what I believe. Everything that's currently happening is for a reason. Yeah. My guides told me that this last year was starting the disclosure. There's going to be more disclosure, which you see it happening right now. So it's beautiful. Not just disclosure with, the secrecy of things, but also, like the secrecy of our contact, like alien contact. Yeah. So they're already admitting that they're in the ocean now.
Yeah. So. Wow. I'm curious. We live in very interesting times.
I know. It's exciting, actually, to be alive right now and witness all these changes and shifts. Yeah. I mean, when I go back to when I was a kid, there was none of this. You couldn't even talk about it, and so now it's just exciting that everybody's opening up more to, okay, there's life out there.
Yeah.
Right.
It's super fascinating. Beautiful.
And that we might be part of that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we are a part of it, aren't we?
Right. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. How do you see that? Because I see myself as that we're hybrids. And I feel like we have a lot of these, the genetics of these different species that are out there. You know,
Yeah.
that's how I see us.
I don't know. I'm not really sure what to think about anything. I'm just like, okay.
Riding the wave. They said riding the wild
Day to
wave.
day. Let's just see what happens.
Well, it was a pleasure. It was so much fun to chat with you. Thank you. I feel like it was just more of conversation, not an interview. So
and it goes
I love it.
so quickly. I could talk to you forever.
And we could talk about this forever. I could talk about it nonstop. It's so much fun.
Yeah, it's
But
beautiful.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for coming on.
And thinking of me.
Great. Yes. And we'll put your links. You have an amazing TikTok and all the things.
You.
So we'll throw them in the show notes for everyone and they can look you up and work with you.
Yeah, and hopefully more people will not be fearful of it.
Yeah.
And they know it's just going to help benefit them.
Yeah, 100%. So wonderful. Thank you.
All right. Have a blessed day. Masalalo, which means much love to you. Miati.
Masalalo.
Yasi. Okay, thank you so much.
Before we wrap up, I want to share some incredibly exciting news with you, something that changed everything for me. My business coach and mentor, Marie Forleo, is offering an all-new, free 3-day Dream Business Bootcamp, and it starts today. Today's the first day. You have lots of time to still sign up. You haven't missed a thing. You'll get day 1 training delivered to your inbox. So follow the links in the show notes and do yourself a favor. If you're a spiritual entrepreneur who wants to make an impact while creating abundance, this training is designed with you in mind. I'm living proof that Marie's guidance truly works. Now I have a business that I love. I get to decide when I work and how I work and the impact I want to make in the world. So if you're ready to make your dream business a reality, then join Marie's Dream Business Bootcamp. It's happening this week. It's completely free, and it really could be your turning point. So find the links in the show notes, and I'll see you inside the Dream Business Bootcamp. That's it. We've concluded another episode of the Finding Harmony podcast. I just want to thank you so much for doing the work that changes the world, starting with yourself. It truly does make a huge difference. Please make sure you have your automatic downloads turned on wherever you listen so you don't miss any of the upcoming episodes. I have so much more magic I can't wait to share with you. Lastly, if you're on Instagram, I love connecting and hearing from you. So come on over and say hello at Finding Harmony Podcast. And you can also come say hello to me personally at Harmony Slater Official. Thank you again for being here. I cannot wait to share more with you in our next episode.